Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Holotny Firma Winter. Between these we got Panther and Angreifen fighting here for Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the Großdeutschland Panzerdivision versus in the west we got Caesar fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism. Taking on the road here of the 10th Mechanized Corps. And we got Breakthrough, Luftwaffe and Scavenge here versus Partisans, Anti-Infantry and Terror Tactics with Mine and Satchel Bulletins there for Caesar. Angreifen here with Panzer Fusiliers, Seasoned Hunters, there's Jäger Infantry and Infantry Bulletins there for him. So Sturmpionier by going very aggressively. He's aiming here for a disruptive start versus Caesar, hoping for him off his early game, put some pressure on them, but also trying to probably hit some more weaker units with the Sturmpioneers, light engineers. That we're gaining a slight tactical edge with Volksgunners and Kuba and them sort of making up here, noting laying down sandbags around the cutoff point to make it easier to defend down the road. Kuba and Emmanuel sort of doing most of the capturing there, but quickly cut rendered the point neutral that Caesar just secured and then falling back there. Yeah, so us Russians won't see it coming, they will, Ludwig. What they won't like, so is what we did. Yeah, we rendered their point neutral, whatever that means. Sandbags down here. Angreifen continues his aggressive mission of harassment. Pursuing here, I think the conscripts might catch them off guard here. I mean, Caesar should quickly be able to just pop around. The promise is just a little distance here for the conscripts to find. In fact, they just moved a bit too late, so they're not going to be able to get a full volley there. So right here, the Sturmpioneers close in, and there you go. The conscripts are forced to retreat here. The Sturmpioneers are pulling a lot of work here for Angreifen in the end of the game. It certainly shows you how to make the best use of them, which is, you know, by playing them aggressively. You generally don't want to be using them like a capping unit the first few moments of the game. You just want to get them in close, ugly, with the opponents who hurt them. So good display there. I'm North, Fulton's moving ahead. We've got a second squad out here for Angreifen. Kuban moving, he's not in grab the fuel point. Sturmpartisan, he's trying to draw in the penal troops then to better range here. There you go, getting caught on negative cover. Kuban moving in, engaging the Strafniki out in the open. He fearlessly dives in. Not afraid of any satchel charges there. Obviously, he's not been able to get the resources for them, so not a big deal there. Kuban continues to fire away, munitions being secured here, but needs to get something else down there to grab the fuel point then. Otherwise, he risks falling behind Caesar here, which could prove to be very detrimental. Mines going down here, though. We got a scout rushing forward, so here for Caesar. Oh, he's going to catch them. Sturmpioneers lay down the mines in negative cover, and the Kubelwagen is also in deep scheisse. A quick reversal here from Caesar against Angreifen. Angreifen's forces are in full retreat here. And he's not got the fuel point yet. We got a full squad that's going to somehow try and, you know, buy time here. Scout car rushes past the Kubelwagen, goes for the Sturmpioneers. Caesar smells the blood of the Germans. Yes, looks like some pathing instead of the scout car, or some, I don't know what's going on there, but either way, looks like it won't quite be able to finish off the Sturmpioneers. Jurgen makes it through. Scout car is down to less than half of the Kubelwagen's not much better off here. And he's going to still try here for the Kubelwagen. We got still keep in mind that the scout car has a 30 caliber on the rear, and he gets the Kubelwagen. He gets abandoned though, but the Kubelwagen is down for the count. Phew. More penalties over there for Caesar as Angreifen's forces in the north continue their work. They're securing territory there. Some pretty intense management skills there by Angreifen. As all this has been happening, he's just been calmly grabbing the north. He's going for breakthrough again. He seems to have fallen in love with the breakthrough doctrine, to be honest. In particular, he likes to make use of the Sturm officer, which is a unit I always felt like has been actually pretty good, but he's just being so overlooked. Yet to see then Angreifen make consistent use of it, you know, does make me feel good, because it means I was right again. Anyways, enough about me, how right I am when it comes to these things. Fulton's there finding out the conscripts there. Almost got the fuel point there, taking McKinnon, try and boost it here with breakthrough tactics. There you go, fuel switch charging still, nonetheless ahead. Pushing away the Volksgrenadiers. Cheeky. Down here, grabbing the fuel point there. So Angreifen is going to be falling back behind in fuel compared to his opponent, which is definitely, I think, going to be a problem there for Angreifen if he's not careful. Truck out here. Likely going to be a battle group headquarters if he's aiming here for an infantry build. I mean, breakthrough very much means infantry. He's fixed the Kubelwagen, popped some Volksgunners inside of it, which also overall looks better. I mean, tank crews generally would not be driving around in these unless they're like a desperate need for, you know, other chaps, and like they were more specifically they're lacking tanks. And even then, the tank crews were more likely to fight as infantry. That's in fact a surprisingly common thing for the Germans as the war went on. Like they just have to just fight as dismounted infantry. In some cases, I think they're being used as ski troops or cavalry. So some fun facts there. There you go, Scout car going to catch the Kubelwagen out here. The Scout Kedneff out is somewhere close north, but will it be enough? Will it be fast enough here? Will the Kubelwagen survive? By the meanwhile, though, Angreifen remains in control of both viewpoints. There you go, rocket impact upon the Scout car, forcing Caesar to pull away there. And he pushes in with the Kubelwagen unless he wants that Scout car dead. And he's willing to risk it all, it seems. Still not going for the officer though, which seems a bit odd, but it might be he decides he doesn't want it, just wants those spam Panther facilities instead. Incendiary grenade off the engineers out in the open. Volkswagen's pushed back. Angreifen's forces are very outstretched, depleted comparatively. I mean, Caesar's got a much larger force with a scout car there. The scout car has in itself quite some damage there, quite some battling. Quickly pulling up into the sandbag pile or dirt pile, sprinkled with sandbags, the Stalin summer recipe. And there you go, got the Sturm officer out. Hauptmann Jürgen arrives to lead from the front. There you go, big push here. Volkswagen is clearly overwhelmed. He's going to need an MG-34 to have a chance. I think stopping Caesar's more aggressive and impulsive infantry assault. See, as map control is also quickly slipping out of Angreifen's fingers as Caesar just ups the pressure for the motherland. Scout car, oh, Kubelwagen's going to need some serious repairs. Scout car is getting repairs, having seen quite some damage. Troops are reinforcing. Officer moving ahead here aggressively. On his own, the officer is a reasonably good unit, but he tends to perform best with other units. But overall, I mean, he's basically an Obersoldat squad, -1 of the rifles instead with the Luger, plus of course abilities like targeting, which can give them an advantage. Whereas the penal troopers, they actually have a pretty good chance there. Ach mein Gott, mein Luger. Why didn't I ask for a better pistol like a Volta PPK? Ah, scheiße. In this case, they got lucky, got the officer dead, but otherwise the penal troopers would not have survived much longer there. Kubelwagen dealing with the penal troopers there. More moving up here. Sturmpanzer is moving down. Volksgrenadier, we got Panzerfusilier out here as well here for Angreifen. Strafniki caught out in the open, repulsed, but right now map control is looking horrid for Angreifen and the Großdeutschland. Heading down for the fuel pump there, Pims is moving in. He might actually use this move to try and bait them out, but there you go. Kubelwagen goes down. Finally, it has driven its last kilometre and is now blazing bonfire of German engineering. There you go, G for the Fusilier for the Panzerfusilier as they open up there on the scout car, which is closing in then eventually too pretty rapidly. Noting, I don't think there's been any mines laid down here though by Caesar. That's definitely a field something could benefit from. Scout car there, salvage for a bit of extra fuel. We got shock troops. We got anti-infantry tactics out here from Caesar. Now that's an interesting choice. You generally do not see this doctrine very often, to put it mildly. So Caesar is clearly trying out new paths, which is always interesting to see. Got the scout car rolling ahead straight into the Volkswagen. He's got risk. He doesn't have the munitions for a Panzerfaust though, so there's no serious threat there to the M3A1, which was an American scout car handed out in larger numbers to the soldiers via the Lend-Lease program. I believe they reasonably liked it. It was primarily though handed out to reconnaissance troops to sort of help them sort of quickly get ahead. Fun fact. Folks have been caught out here with the shock troopers. The shock troopers can't do much at that range with their PPSH-41s. Panzer moving in within range to support the Volkswagen if need be, leaving the munitions alone. Sturmpanzer is slightly next to the munitions, not quite there. And then Kedneff inside the church opening up, revealing his position. And Angreifen goes here for a flak half track. Hello. That's an interesting choice. I mean, it's not bad per se, but it's not particularly good unless you get it to eventually too. But I mean, if you can sort of make use of it reasonably well, the flak half track can be potent, but in most cases you find yourself rather wanting an MG-34. Push for the Koch one again there. Caesar just keeps up the pressure, charging the Kedneff. There you go, mine goes off. Pushkin and Pavlov blown apart. There you go, grenade on the Kedneff, barely escapes here. Well, satchel charge specifically. Hausler did not make it out alive. There we go, flak half tank and an MG-34 here, so Angreifen is quickly committing to a lot of suppressive firepower to that way, trying to contain Caesar's infantry madness. Few upon the next target here of Caesar's avarice, his wrath. And there they go. Panzer these folks have been pursued here by the Scout Cup filled with flamethrower engineers, penal troopers, shock troopers, all just firing at the retreating German infantry. Obviously, moving down into the Strafniki, doesn't have munitions here for a forced retreat. Also, might be able to save the point. Close but no cigar. Flak after they're at the ready for orders, but not quite yet there. And mines on the cover. Good work there by Angreifen. Good work. It is a sneaky trick, but generally mining your opponent's laid down cover is not a half bad idea at all. Map controls swiftly swinging back into Caesar's favour here with a 10th Mechanized Corps. He's got a 10% command up, could go for T-70 fast versus opponent. Flak half trick remains inert, static, unmoving. Almost hit that mine, almost. Flak half track though is finally moving. People there push back, flak half track moving in. With its 2cm flak, follows the need to retreat soon. This version, by the way, was rather specific though to the Luftwaffe. I think it was a field modified version for the Hammond-Göring Fallschirm Panzer Division, and there aren't actually that many produced of them. Most of the actuals for the 251-17 half-track sort of looked a bit more conventional, less fancy there, though there were later versions with the triple 20mm anti-aircraft guns mounted on them. That's a little fun fact there. I kind of wish they'd gone for that one, to be honest. Peels was out in the open here. Oh, not in the open, but in the heavy cover, which will soon crumble before the might of the flak. Oh, but they do pop anti-tank rifles. Then again, once the cover crumbles, they will be easily pinned, and there we go, pinned to the ground as the flak half-track unleashes 15 flavors of hell. 3 kills there for Das Vaterland. And with the MG-34, Caesar, Angreifen is now in possession of a lot of suppressive firepower that should be able to help contain the infantry madness from Caesar. In fact, he's rushing straight here for the mechanized armor component T-34s. Mines being laid down to help prevent any sort of vehicular rushes or infantry rushes. Very good work there by Angreifen. Caesar still, I think, hasn't laid down a single mine, despite, in several cases, having most of the map there. Oh, no mind. My apologies there, Caesar. You have clearly laid down one mine. One mine. So that's not a lot on mines, but at least he has laid down one mine. So, of course, my apologies. And keeps dodging that mine. Grenade on the retreat path, then nice attempt by Caesar. Flak after moving down to prevent any movement there. MG-34. Mine finally goes off, killing several shock troopers as they found their body armor is of no use against several kilos of high explosives going from up through their feet. Up here they're fighting for the carve point. Scout car finally goes down, snapped here for the Kedner. For good work there by Angreifen. Grabbing the fuel point there, or munition point, but the fuel point has been cut off. And we got fear propaganda artillery here from Caesar. So, on the MG-34, interesting. Opening up the centre of the map there. An interesting choice to call it in. Sturmofficer there waiting reinforcements and healing. And a fresh pair of pants because the other one's got too much Russian blood on them. Countdown officer not looking presentable. Grabbing the centre victory pawn there, victory pawn's wise. The lead is very much Caesar's. Quick steel hand granate, but the peanuts was all moving past it. Meaning that's just wasted munitions there for Angreifen. Also got a light infantry gun up here for Angreifen, bit of artillery, and there you go. Peanuts was wiped by the flak half track. A small victory here for Angreifen and the German army. Up north, penal troopers, engineers moving about here. Steel pioneers moving about, spotting mines. Oh, he actually laid down a second mine. Well, some mining has been done. Some mining has been done, but he could have laid down a lot more. But anyways, enough about that. Light gun firing off some flak half track there. And we got the T-34-76 on the way for Caesar. Now that's going to be a bit of a problem for Angreifen since all he's got on mines and on a Kettenwerfer to stop the T-34-76. And I'm not entirely sure that's going to be quite sufficient in dealing with it. I might be wrong though. I mean, if he does hit a mine at the wrong spot there, I mean, there's a chance he could take out the T-34. All the way, the Caesar and the 10th Mechanized Corps, they're rushing out armor for the motherland as they keep up pressure. Also note he's not trying to just get bogged down in one spot. He's constantly tagging here and there, trying to keep Angreifen off guard. But at the same time, Angreifen's doing the same thing. And to an extent, as sort of the game progresses, not because he's got suppressor weapons, it's working out better because he can make it harder for Caesar to operate his infantry freely, and thusly establish zones of control. So with that, Caesar is beginning to lose, map control. Plus, Angreifen is also very good at sort of consistently hitting some of the weaker spots, just quickly cutting him off there. So that's also helping a bit there. But the machine gun and the flak half tack are certainly having an impact. But there you go, T-34 from 6 out, and that should certainly help Caesar swing the game back in his favour, because Angreifen has next to no counters to it. Going for Schwer Panther quarters, these of course it's going to take some time to get out any army in the south. There, folks, because the T-34 from 6, very one-sided engagement. Only reason it works out for him to a slight extent is because Caesar's clearly worried about something hiding behind the Volkskamp, which could do some serious damage to his T-34, but that's not there. Second, I came from the way, good work up north, grabbing the fuel point again. He could have popped breakthrough tactics. Of course, he could be saving up for something else, which does make sense. Still got the fuel point there, good work. In the centre flank after them bombarding the T-34 from 6. Otto, are you sure this is a good idea? I'm pretty sure we're only making some more upset. The Russians, they're always upset. We can't make them any more upset. They are perpetually upset. So that is what it means to be Russian. MD-34, the what? That's a bit of a loss there. Troops shouting forward here. Oh dear, he's going to lose the flag after at this rate. Pop smoke, tries to get out of there. Okay, no from up. Mine goes off. Anti-tank grenade goes off. The flag half tank takes a final hit there. Kednov misses the T-34. Looks like he's going to get escaped. And he might even lose the MD-34. This has just lost both his suppressor weapons to Caesar while handing her one to him. Nice extra assault there by Caesar. Basically realising the machine gun wasn't, they had a blind spot. He just popped a grenade over the hedgerows. Very nicely done there. Certainly punishing Angreifen, but being too lax with his MD-34 in that position. Too lax. You should also then be quick about salvaging the flak half track for some extra fuel so you can push out a Panther faster. And a nice smoke screen there from Caesar as well, allowing him to safely grab the point and fall back. Good work. Up north, the victory point there with Strafniki in the south, people moving ahead as well. He might want to consider second engineer squad to expedite the repairs of his T-34 though. To expedite the repairs of his T-34. Pimps are being pushed back by Obersoldaten. The officer and the Volksgrenadiers. 9 kills for the Schwarzland. Breakthrough tactics here being utilised. Good work. Again, he's sort of consistently using the 3 actually usable abilities of breakthrough, so that's good to see. He's also closing in the Jagdpanther, of course, could transfer for a Panther 4 instead. Big Russian infantry push here, constantly leading the way, people to the shock troops following up. Quick Brandhandgranate though, which is certainly going to hurt them from just trying to punch through there. So it's not going to be a huge amount of damage it does, most of it have a slight impact. T-Fed Volts on the way again here for Caesar. Obviously he's just going to have to retreat there, he's not going to stand a chance versus all those angry Russians. Betching the 3 Panzers there need to be careful, they're also down to half health and half squad size. There you go, good retreat. He's got another MD-34 out here, quick replacement there by Angreifen as he saves that father Jagdpanzer or Panther 4. He could also transfer out for a Panther, that would not be a half bad idea either. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Noting he has not upgraded any of his Volksgrenadiers with assault rifles. No upgrades there whatsoever. Of course, might be he's setting up the munition for mines and other things. So, or maybe even just breakthrough tactics. And lastly, doesn't want to upgrade his Volksgrenadiers with assault rifles. It's a bit hard to say exactly what the plan is there. But Angreifen just once more finding himself a bit on the defensive against Caesar. As Caesar is successfully pushing back the front once more. fueled now by the T-34-76 and its mighty might, which Angreifen does lack a more sort of consistent counter for. In part because Caesar isn't just constantly taken into one spot, allowing Angreifen to do a service Raketen efforts to counter that, so he has to sort of try and figure out where's the T-34 going to strike, and then if it's wrong, has to move all of his anti-tank weapons up there, so that sort of gives the T-34 a lot more leverage here over Angreifen. In the south here, Panther was the force there. Oh, grenade off, and then a retreat. Interesting. Another option would have been to throw down a smoke grenade, allowing them to get closer, and then that way taking them apart with the shock troopers. Alright, Angreifen is aiming for the Panther 4. He's not going to save up for the Panther. In the meanwhile, Caesar, an interesting manoeuvre, is actually going for Sniper to try and bleed out Angreifen a bit here with the longer term. He could, of course, also soon go for T-34. In fact, he should be able to do it right now. He's going for the H-5 though, so he's more focused on enemy armor. Possibly that Angreifen is going for a Panther already now, and so he wants to be ready to counter it, which is definitely not a bad idea. Panther's there. Oh, grenade off. Almost got them used, but they're taking heavy fire. They're sniper fire, rifle fire, you name it. Follows that, and then there's the T-34-6 as well. Up north, more pressure as he tries to push forwards. This time there's got Kenneth nearby. He's anticipating he's going to move up the T-34 to try and deal with this. We'll have to see if it works out though. Folks, they're close to death. And we got the Panther 4 heading northwards, though with limited infantry support, so he does need to be careful there. I mean, most of the infantry is already more or less soon ready to retreat, so there's a chance that something goes wrong with Panther 4, and then he has nothing to help safeguard it. So, bit risky here what Angreifen is doing. There you go, getting off close to the Pumas. Oh, he got really lucky there that the machine gunners on the tank was actually focusing down the one throwing the satchel charge, forcing a cancel of it. Holy snot biscuits. This is why you want infantry support in tanks, because this was a really risky maneuver without infantry. And now we got a T-34-6 H-5 moving in there. Panther 4, there you go. Also again, infantry that could maybe help keep the consequence state. Now it's got a damaged engine on his Panther 4, less than half health. T-34 H-5 moving in here. Oh dear, almost got the T-34. H-5 misses. Scarlet Kenner for moving in. T-34's going to move into the mine, maybe. No, avoids it, avoids it. Oh dear, turret rotation, not quite. Oh, H-5 moving in, taking hit from Kenner. Veteran 1, Panther 4. He's trying to use the terrain here against the H-5, but it's not quite working out. And Kenner forgets about the Panther 4's down to a sliver of health. Kenner for number 2 caught out in the open. He's still not moving out infantry to support the Panther 4. There you go, conscripts are roaring. And again, there's nothing to support the Panther 4 with. There might be mines in the way, but no chance of escape here. And the Panther 4 is finally down. But I mean, he got a T-34-6. He got an H-85 for that Panther 4. So I mean, overall, it kind of worked out there for Angreifen, but that was a really high-risk maneuver. And it could have worked out better had he just supported with infantry. And similarly, had Caesar had more infantry support, his tanks and his tank destroyers pushing ahead here, that could also go on better. So, I mean, those are some considerations. Angreifen following up with more Panzer facilities, of course, probably going to try and buy more time as he waits for tanks. He's also hitting his opponent's fuel point, trying to prevent Caesar from getting out too many tanks while he waits for what he wants. So Caesar reacting, I think, reasonably astutely to the setback, though again, that could have gone a bit better for both of them. I mean, Angreifen obviously lost a lot less, but even then it's going to be hard to replace the Panther 4. But at least he did take out a lot with it. Shock troopers going after the Storm Officer, who was forced to retreat. Back here, healing enforcement going on. And heading through the south, quickly cutting off a ton of territory. Angreifen rapidly able to sort of switch tactical focus on the map. Very good. Of course, Caesar's also pretty astute at that. So, I mean, now the player's giving the other player an easy time, to put it mildly. Punch with the Shumpai moving to support the first squad, which is quickly forced away. MD-34 hiding behind the wreckage of the flag half-track, which is interesting enough, not salvaged. I do find that a bit interesting. Nor has the Panther 4 wreckage been salvaged either. I mean, that is 10 fuel he'll be getting, plus the wreckage of the HG5 should at least be another. In fact, that's 20 fuel here in just wreckages right now for Angreifen. So, I mean, that is a small miss there, I would say. Sturmpanzer is suppressed though. Panzer is being ripped apart here in negative cover. Will he be salvaging this for fuel, or will he not? Looks like so far though the answer is very much not. A very big not. Pressure for the south there, but up north they got a more shooting going on here. Yes, Angreifen has an officer-led assault there. Quickly diverting the officer away there to make him less of an easy target, leaving the focus to deal with the shock troopers. Tactically, I think that's the most sound move. And the Raket has been spotted and snapped at. He might even lose it here. But barely gets it away. MG34, the next target to be sniped at. RP shock troops continue to bleed out as the foes get ever closer, though getting without the fire. Oh! Almost lost the officer to demo charge. Actually, really lucky there then for Angreifen. It did not get wiped. That's only been rather nasty. There we go. Panther is virtually free now. Got the Strafniki right in front of them. They're taking quite a bit of heavy damage. You've got a shield hand grenade there, plus Sturmpioneer. Angreifen there just keeps up the pressure. HG5 number 2 on the way there for Caesar. And Angreifen might be aiming either for a Panther 4 or a Panther, because he certainly is beginning to put a lot of fuel. And again, he could push it out faster if we just were to salvage all of these wrecks. I mean, that would basically be a minute's worth of fuel if we just get that way. So, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad choice. Constant's been caught here by Sturmpioneers and the Panzerverlierer. Hitting the cough point again. Big Russian counterattack here to reclaim it. Can't afford to be cut off from the fuel now. It was easier to sort of be more affordable in the early game, I guess, except because it better map control. But now we're sort of things getting more equal, and Angreifen, has a better chance of bringing up more armor. I mean, that could be a bigger problem. Plus, I mean, with all the armor losses Caesar has suffered as well, it becomes a lot less acceptable. Unfortunately, they need to be careful. They're close to being wiped out, and they're going annihilated. Bit of a loss there for Angreifen. That was one of those Veteran 4 Volkskunde squads who bit the dust. Penal Trooper shock troops moving ahead. Troop pinned down, suppressed. Big engagement in the south though. Panzerverlierer Sturmpioneer, there we go, forced away. Even grenades off here from Caesar. Angreifen is now definitely within range of going for a Panther. That is what he's planning here. And would certainly seem to be what he's planning. There you go, Panther on the way there. Panzerkampfwagen 5 for Angreifen and the Groß Deutschland Division. Victory points whilst the lead is very much still Caesar's. Still haven't salvaged any of these. Or the flak half track. In theory, Caesar could actually be pushing here for the Schwerpanzer Corps to try and take it out with his JCD5. But he does seem to be worried about attacking Caesar Angreifen head on like that. He might, of course, be worried about his flanks or something like that, which is understandable. There we go, Panther out for Angreifen. Oh dear. Not entirely sure doing this again, but he's definitely not doing it right. Panther getting close to Veteran 4. And there we go. There you go, grenade off. Oh dear, right into the bunch. Oh, almost lost the punch. Squad. Got Sturmpioneers moving in. Negative, cover need to retreat. Another grenade off against the Russians, and there he goes, sends them away. Got the Panther there arriving, the Panzerkampfwagen 5, Ausführung A. Or E. Definitely not the D model, which was the first model, was also the most flawed model, and definitely not the G model either, because you can tell that because it doesn't have the sort of chin on the turret mantlet there. Also, slightly different exhaust pipes, plus you actually get a sort of driver's hatch there on the front, which was actually removed from the G model to remove the weak spot that presented. Officer pushed back here. In fact, dead. Pushing back the forces as well. Their Panther, of course, remains. We actually got a fuel cache up in the cold point. Not a bad idea there. Makes it a lot harder for Angreifen. Just keep pushing forward and, of course, provide Caesar with more fuel. A lot more fuel. Sturm Pioneer versus Strafniki. He also looks like he lost his Veterancy 4. Panzer for this quarter something. Samson charge off. Hitting the center victory point. Pulling back the Panther a bit there for Germany. Showing a lot of action all over the place. McKinnon was spotted by shock troopers, whereby we really close to Veterancy 3. As for Caesar, could be going for T-34 from 6 more medium armor. He could of course be playing here for the KV-8, which has become recently rather popular with the Soviets. I'm seeing a lot more Soviet players just going for the KV-8. Seems to become rather fashionable, in fact. Back here, healing reinforcement going on there for Angreifen. A lot of troops in need of that. That's what Angreifen is planning next. Of course, is the big question. He's planning for more Panzer IVs, Panthers, Obersoldaten, Panzerfusileer. A lot of options there. And they're going to send the bears on the centre, pushing back the MD-34. Also, risks lighting the church on fire there. Push for the point right next to Caesar's base. Angreifen's looking to put some pressure on them then mentally. Make him feel uneasy and less safe overall. And there we go, we got the KV-8 out here for Caesar. Flamethrower tank mobilized. Generally though, by 1944-45 they're actually using modified T-34s that had the flamethrower instead of the whole machine gun. Little fun fact there. There we go, direct hit on the Panther from issue 5, down to close to half health there. Up north, infantry trying to push 40, officer with the full grenadiers. Shock troopers at range and with target them. That's definitely not a good engagement here for Caesar. Now he's salvaging. Like, don't worry, Otto, they can't do anything. They can't even hit. Yeah, but shouldn't we kill them first? Let's get the fuel first. So there we go. Bit of extra fuel salvage will certainly speed up towards whatever tank he wants. H5 needs to be careful, don't get caught up in front of the Kednaffer. There you go, KV-8 moving northwards with the German infantry. 15 kills on the Sturm officer. Definitely not bad. And there you go, KV-8 rolling about. Ready to unleash hell there. Catching the forces out and them blazing away there. In the centre of Kednaffer carrying forwards. Slowly but surely. And the Panther being dispatched northwards, Robert to try and catch the KV-8 and deal with it. Though once more, he does seem to be sending in his tank there with the next to no infantry support, which is, you know, kind of what lost him the Panther IV. And he's also operating his McKinnon incredibly aggressive. He's hoping to catch something there, destroy something. And there we go, catching the HU-5. First shot missed, second shot hits, but there's a McKinnon or KV-8 nearby. Panthers nowhere need to be seen. HU-5 down to half health. Oh, but he might lose the McKinnon to the KV-8. And the penal troopers. But there you go, Panther arrives here, flanks the KV-8. And there we go, Kenman shoots, bounces off the KV-8's armor. Panther though ignores the flames, which is rather obvious, though it might be a bit uncomfortable for the crew. Panther there being suppressed by the MD-34. Panther continues up north. Penal troopers hot in pursuit of the Panther with anti-tank rifles and anti-tank satchels. KV-8 rolls back here. Panther goes in after the... There's of course the chance that the HU-5 could do a lot of damage. It's going to be attacked next. No, the HU-5 has been doing about in an awkward manner, ensuring the Panther allows to get so close as possible there. Oh! HQ5 shoots to and misses and gets taken out by the Panther. That was disastrous for Caesar. Now the KV-8 is on its own. It's only got a pair of anti-tank rifles and some anti-tank grenades to stop the Panther now. This is pretty bad for Caesar. Veterans won there for the Panther. In the center, infantry pushing forward there, the MD-34 and the Panzerfusilier. Officer with Volksmarine supported the Panther. 5 kills for das Vaterland. And quickly moving up to destroy the caches to deny Caesar precious fuel. In the south, though, Caesar makes some progress. Fresh sandbags laid down. And we got more Panzerfusiliers here for Angreifen. Almost got the cache there. There you go. Down it goes. Kaboom. MD-34 closely invented 3 Panthers there. Veteran field ready. And we got another incendiary barrage right here on Angreifen center positions. Undermining its defense for the fatherland. The spare Panther was able to help them fall back to safe position. Plus, got the Panther joining in. And it seems like the sharpshooters also slightly got caught up in their incendiary fire as well there. So that worked out. Snubbing hit there. 23 kills for Caesar. It's not like they've been out there for that long, so they've been actually able to do some incredible damage in that short amount of time they've been out here. Using the Kevin secure territory on the south, he's pretty confident in his Panther's ability to deal with whatever's left. And good lord, they actually took out 2 machine gunners with a single hit. That's actually impressive. Caesar following up with another HQ5 and he's also calling in field propaganda artillery. On the center, there you go, forcing the Panther to retreat. 11 kills on that Panther, 11. With another HQ5 there halfway done. Looks like Angreifen has been able to turn this game around against Caesar. That was looking pretty up at times, and he's down to less than 100 here versus Caesar, who's got closer for him. Of course, there's a chance that Caesar might still be able to pull around, but it's starting to look a bit less possible for that. In particular, now Angreifen will be able to pull off a Panzer IV. Second HQ5 almost done. KV-8 good to go once more for Caesar as well. Panther gunning down the counters as they just charge in from the front. And in the southern point there, like Kedmar for KV-8 sitting out. Panzer IV halfway done there for Angreifen. And that's Vaterland. Shot fire, bounced. Sniper getting veteran 326 kills there. Penetrating hit from the HQ5. Panther almost down there for Angreifen. Falls back to the Panther. Blow up there from Caesar, or at least a chunk of infantry. There you go. KV-8 flanking the Panther. That's not going to have much of an impact. Panther responds perfectly with a shot for the rear. And there you go. Panther IV arrives here for Angreifen. Giving him more armor here. Crashing the sand like I saw the Panther. Caesar strikes back as hard as he can here. He's being pushed back, being sniped by the Panther even. Get there with a single armor piercing round straight through the spine. And we got the Panther IV moving in. Panther opening up again, shooting back there as well. 14 kills, close to 2 actually. HQ5, KV-8 nearby. Penetrating hit there, so it hits the rear armor of the Panther. Nasty hit there, Panther IV moving in. Gets too close to enter tank grenade. Pretty bad there for the Panther, half health. Need to get the HQ5 somehow. Taking blast by the Panther IV and the Panther. Almost wiped the entire conscript squad. But need to deal with the HQ5 and needs to somehow dodge the HQ5 with this Panther. And there go HQ5. Oh, Kedneff opened up on the HQ5. Peel's almost being wiped out here. KV-8 moves forward. So close to 2 shot bounces though. Shot bounces. Panther IV going in after the HQ5. The HQ5 falling back here. Almost got it. Almost got it. And gets the HQ5 leading behind. Only the KV-8 switching out to the 45mm gun, but a bit too late. And the Panther IV gets the KV-8 as well here, demolishing Caesar's armoured part, leaving it now with only infantry. With this, Caesar gives up. A loss for the Third Union. The 10th Tank Corps. A victory for Germany. Deutschland. A brutal battle here with some interesting news from both places. Some aggressive attacks hither and thither. No just simple meat grinders from either side. Splendid stuff there. The issue I think for Caesar was partly one of forced composition. Also he wasn't very good at working his tanks together with his infantry, but I also think would have benefited from some mortars here and there just to provide artillery support. And there's certainly also an argument that more mines would have done him a lot more good. I mean, he just laid down those 2 mines, whereas Caesar Angreifen was a lot more consistent with mining here and there, which makes it harder for Caesar to just push ahead. And that I think did have a big impact there for Angreifen as the fight went on. Plus, I mean, he made reasonably good use of doctrine. That's not to say Angreifen did. I mean, Caesar actually made use of almost every ability in his doctrine. It's not like he did it poorly either. But I do have to question if the KB was the right choice. They've not should have gone for more T-34s and other H-35 as soon as possible. So those are some thoughts there. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, one subscribe, tell friends, share it with everybody. And of course, big thanks to Turban here for upgrading his pledge on Patreon. You can also pledge or just donate. Links are in the video description. So thanks to all those who already are pledging, and of course thanks to all who might consider it. This is Imperial Dane signing off. See you all tomorrow for another signing episode.